This is my presentation for Project 1, Meetup Professional and Growth. The name of the meeting is as follows: from static pipelines to co-evolving AI, building adaptive vision systems. And the link is as follows on the slide deck. This event took place on Wednesday, October 15th from about 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. This was an all online event, so only online. Slide 3. The main speaker for this event was Godaman. His experience in workplace is that of the co-founder and CTO of LabelBees AI. His background: he has 12 years of experience in defense and insurance in geospatial intelligence. His previous roles were a lead AI engineer for the multimodal system, satellite and AIS fusion at Orbital Insight. He transformed legacy systems into AI-driven systems at EMC Insurance as well. And then for the co-host, Greg Mikowski, his role is to facilitate the event associated with SF Bay ACM, the people hosting the event, and his responsibilities were to moderate, talk, and invite the speakers, in this case, Godaman, in the relevant fields. Slide 3. Company's organization mentioned. LabelBees AI is the company in which Godaman is the CTO and co-founder. And Orbital Insight was where he previously worked, along with EMC Insurance. And for the co-speaker, as already mentioned, just to provide more background on these speakers. Going on to the next slide. Slide 4, discussion of what was said. Core ideas move from static sequential AI pipelines to co-evolving adaptive ecosystems. The problems with legacy systems: traditional ones are or can be described as a one-way conveyor belt. The model is rigid and linear, control-focused, creates silos and delays in real-world feedback until after failures occur. Static models can adapt and data drift or changing environments affect them. Why change is needed: real-world conditions evolve faster than static models, and this comes with lack of feedback loops, limited continuous improvement. The living loop concept: model, data, knowledge, and feedback co-evolve together. The core principles are as follows: parallel evolution, model, data, and product evolve simultaneously. Adaptive learning focuses human effort on resolving uncertainties and edge cases. The harness model tools used for foundation models, examples CLIP and SAM, and knowledge bases such as LLMs. Benefits: continuous adaptation to real-world change, faster model deployment cycles, systems that learn as fast as the world changes. Some challenges are as follows: technical challenges: retaining real-world memory and preventing knowledge loss across teams. Ethical accountabilities: bias prevention in the evolving systems is paramount. Slide 5. Who you met. Tell us about who you met during this meetup and give an answer to at least one question that you asked that person. The person that we met was the head speaker, Guadaman, and in the question that was asked, it goes as following: in the creation of a co-evolving AI like this, what are the ethical challenges? And in Guadaman's response to the question, he discussed about the philosophical challenges that are at the core of the issue in determining who is ultimately accountable for these models, or who these models cause damage to. He described that these AIs are units of intelligence rather than just models. While holding these beliefs, he still acknowledges that messiness occurs in the issue of bias in the data sets can cause unintended harm. He believes that governance is at the heart of this issue and that all AI specialized teams should include a group dedicated to ethics and community. And that was his response. On to the next slide, slide 6. What did you think? How did you like this? Was it good or bad? Oops. Going into this meeting, it was more of circumstances that forced me into it, but I definitely don't regret it. I think that the subject matter was maybe a little bit outside of my scope of understanding, but the speaker and co-speaker, Greg, did a great job to accommodate people like me in giving a high-level understanding, or rather high-level descriptions. What you learned and would you go again? If I were to redo it, I definitely would attend a different meeting, as I think this, like I mentioned, was a little bit outside of my scope. I would do something that's a little bit more practical to what I'm learning now in school, or something that interests me more. On to slide 7, other memberships getting engaged with technology. The meeting that I attended was the IEE general meeting, which was held online on October 16th, 2025. The time was from 12:15 to 1:15, but it did extend past that. And this was hybrid, so both Zoom and in class, where I attended was via Zoom. The details of this event and a summary of what happened. This event touched on the upcoming deadlines for the club, and the IEEX Extreme competition, along with upcoming dates that are relevant to not only members but non-members, such as myself. Additionally, there was a strong emphasis on career advancements with conferences such as the IEE Rising Stars Conference, which they highly recommended to go to. And then for the second portion of this event was the guest speaker, where we had, or we'll talk about that in the next slide. The guest speaker was Alberto from Amazon Web Services, and he talked about entering the tech industry and some of the important things to know, to benefit from. And he had a strong emphasis on networking and talking to people, as that's how he got his job in his story. Along with detailing the specifics of his job, the message was that networking was important. As for the next slide, slide 8, Stack Overflow. All right, in the attached image is a screenshot of the question asked. And this was related to CS 221, Computer Organization and Assembly Language, which I'm currently taking. In the question asked was a query about creating a bubble sort algorithm in MIPS assembly language. On to the next slide. Here's another screenshot of the attached question, where there is sample code and he's asking for input. In my observations of this, I was really impressed with Stack Overflow and that the quality of answers given in Stack Overflow were very high. Not only did they respond, but they went through meticulous detail and evident in the image and the comments, but also answer the follow-up questions. I definitely learned something from this process and would expect to use Stack Overflow as a resource in my future queries. Slide 9, screenshot of your account and brief summary of what github.com is. In the attached image is a screenshot of the discussion board from the repository created. And in the second image is a screenshot of the GitHub account created. I did not have GitHub prior to this. And for a description of what GitHub is at a high level, GitHub is a platform in which people can share and host code. It offers different advantages to developers who want to store code, collaborate with others, and solve bugs. Additionally, it allows for developers to share projects publicly, serving as something akin to a portfolio. As for the next slide, slide 10, screenshot of ChatGPT. In the attached images is first a screenshot of the newly created ChatGPT account on the free plan, and in the second screenshot is a image of the response from the Stack Overflow question. In asking the exact same question as found on Stack Overflow, ChatGPT took a very different approach. Instead of instead opting to give a high-level logic behind the question, as if it's a model trying to help me solve it on my own, whereas Stack Overflow served to provide example code for me to learn from, and the solution where it was already solved. I think that both of these approaches in solving the problem have their own merit. Next slide. ChatGPT. And in asking following up questions, there is a screenshot where ChatGPT wrote the entire program as requested. Similarly to Stack Overflow, upon asking further questions, I was able to convince ChatGPT to provide some actual code. Both ChatGPT and Stack Overflow programs compiled without error, and I think that it's important to acknowledge some key differences between the platforms. While ChatGPT was able to solve my problem very quickly, these models are prone to hallucination, and more complex requests may have ended differently. In contrast, Stack Overflow offers more reliability, as real people are answering these questions and are less prone to the pitfalls that AI is. That's the last slide. Thank you, everybody, for listening. The slide deck is attached, and my email is there as well. Thank you.